When you come across terms like Darwinism or Darwinists, take heed. True scientists rarely use these terms and instead opt for evolution and biologists, respectively. When evolution is described as a blind, random, undirected process, be warned. While genetic mutations may be random, natural selection is not. When cells are described as astonishingly complex molecular machines, it is generally by breathless supporters of ID who take the metaphor literally and assume that such a machine requires an engineer. If an author wishes for academic freedom, it is usually ID code for the acceptance of creationism. I should point out, this, I take this article as just advice from this editor, and not a set of hard and fast rules. It's entirely possible for an actual scientist to use the word Darwinist in an article and not be an ID supporter. Right. These are just things that are very, very common.
It's rare when I hear somebody use the word Darwinist at all in discussion. I think 100% of the time it's a creationist, in my limited experience.
Right. As a transhumanist, I often refer to human beings as meat machines, but by using the word machine, I don't mean to imply that there must have been a machinist. To put the fact that I'm invoking meat because I know that things made of meat evolve, and things made of cellulose. Some general sentiments are also red flags. Authors with religious motives make shameless appeals to common sense. From the staid, there is nothing we can be more certain of than the reality of our sense of self, James Le Fanu in Why Us, I guess that's a book, to the silly, your granny was an ape by creationist blogger Denise O'Leary. Is that Denise or Dennis?
It's Denise.
Denise O'Leary.
It's a woman. And she is featured and ridiculed fairly regularly on Feringula.
Yeah, I recognize the name, but didn't know the pronunciation. If common sense were a reliable guide, we wouldn't need science in the first place. Religiously motivated authors also have a bad habit of thinking that the cultural implications of linking the cultural implications of a theory to the truth value of the theory. The ID crowd, for instance, loves to draw a line from Darwin to the Holocaust, as they did in the documentary film Expelled, No Intelligence Allowed. Even if such an absurd link were justified, it would have no relevance to the question of whether or not the theory of evolution is correct. Similarly, when Le Fanu writes that Darwin's On the Origin of Species articulated the desire of many scientists for an exclusively materialist explanation of natural history that would liberate it from the sticky fingers of the theological interference, his statement has no bearing on the scientific merits of evolution. It is crucial to the public's intellectual health to know when science is really science. Those with a religious agenda will continue to disguise their true views in their effort to win supporters. So please, read between the lines.
Yeah. When somebody comes at me with the notion that scientists are all biased in favor of naturalistic explanations, I usually reply, hey, I'm all for finding a supernatural explanation if there is one. Just give me a way to test it.
Yes.
When you come up with a reasonable test for the supernatural thing that you think is driving the evolution, then we'll talk, and then maybe you can even get published. If you can come up with a hypothesis that supports if you come up with a test that would support your hypothesis and not the perfectly good natural explanations that we've already got, then you might have something new.
Yeah.